Hey guys, thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Chris and I just got done watching Child's Play. Which Child's Play tells a very different story than the Chucky we know. Due to some legal rights issues, we have two different versions of Chucky currently going on. In this incarnation, he is a very sophisticated AI killer robot, programmed to love whoever its owner is, and of course we know that to be Andy Barkley. From here, we'll see the ups and downs of owning a sophisticated AI toy. That's all pretty much it without giving any spoilers to you guys. This is a spoiler-free review. Now, before getting into my thoughts, I do want to say real quick, if you want your own Chucky Buddy mask, at my screening they had tons left over, and one of the people, they recognized me and said, hey, you want to have a box of these and give them out to your fans? So if you would like to be the owner of one of these things, leave a like, subscribe. From there, I'll pick a handful of winners. I got tons of these guys, so your chances are pretty good if you do it. But alright, now finally, I got to see this damn movie. I have been so pumped and excited for this. Of course, when it was first announced, I flinched. I hated it, as any true Chucky fan would. But as more stuff came along, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give this a shot. It doesn't look that bad. And after witnessing this movie, I can honestly say I had a damn good time. I really enjoyed this new take on Chucky. I was fully prepared to rip this movie apart if I did not like it. I was no doofus. I knew this movie could have sucked, and even with me hyping it up, being so excited for it, honesty is key for me, and I am not willing to lie to you guys. So let me get into some of the things I absolutely loved in this movie. For one, I absolutely love the atmosphere, the color palette, the way this film was shot. It comes off very beautiful, colorful, really blends in with the whole killer toy doll. Pairing that up with the music done by Brad McCreary, man, what a wonderful soundtrack. Really complimented this movie as we went along. The great performances all around. Aubrey Plaza playing a mother. I cannot see her doing this role, but the way she plays it off makes so much sense in this movie. She gets to be the serious, hardworking single mother and have her little jokes here and there. Gabriel Bateman cast as Andy Barkley. I couldn't think of a better kid right now. Child actors are always iffy in how their performances will go, but Gabriel Bateman sure did a good job of making me like this new version of Andy, a much older version. Tyree as the new Mike Norris definitely had a bunch of different layers added to his character that really helped him get more involved. I was thinking he was gonna play this sort of badass cop, and while he is at times in this movie, he was kind of like your goofy, corny friend, and I enjoyed that. But what really seals this for me in relationship was the relationship between Chucky and Andy in this movie. The emotional element and the things they do to build a relationship in this movie really pay off towards the end. I cannot believe that this movie made me feel sympathetic for Chucky. At times I was like, oh, just let him kill somebody, Andy, it's okay. Because this Chucky really isn't trying to step on the toes of Brad Dourif or try to replicate something that we already know and love. This is a hugely different Chucky. They might look the same, have similar clothing, similar ways of killing, but in the end, this is such a drastically different character that I applaud the movie for going in this direction. But not even some of the cast members or Chucky itself. The whole movie is very differently told. You have similar elements that happen in the old 1988 movie, but they really try to do their own thing and stray away from just being a carbon copy of that film. The kills are super gory. Orion really knows how to do it when they make a rated R movie. But getting right down to it, I did have quite a few issues with the movie, and unfortunately a lot of these issues took me from I could have loved this movie to, you know what, I liked it, I enjoyed it, I'd watch it again. For one, look, we've been talking about this since day one they showed us this face. It does take some getting used to, alright? Even people like us who've been following the project non-stop and looking at these photos and going, okay, I guess I like it. No. Once you actually see its mouth and eyes and eyebrows move in the film, it takes some getting used to. The best way to put it is like, this Chucky is an ugly puppy, but even an ugly puppy is cute. But in a way that kind of complements this movie, that the doll look was ugly, but the personality they put behind it and the things they did with him still makes you care about this version of Chucky that you're like, ah, I don't care if you look like garbage. Also, and the thing that really detrimented it for me is the runtime. This movie is pretty short, it feels short, and one of those main reasons is because it's very fastly paced. The movie really does not stop, it just goes and goes and goes and goes, and it's over. A lot of times in this movie when you're cutting from place to place, transition from transition, it feels very abrupt, not as smooth as you would like. Basically, the movie did feel very rushed, and I kind of didn't like that, because there were parts in this movie that they were taking their time and being slow, like when they were delving the relationship between Andy and Chucky. But then towards the end, when you have the big massacre moment, that felt rushed. The origin of Chucky in this movie, very rushed, and like, okay, this is how it happened, now let's just get to it. I felt this movie could have taken a little more breathing room, taken a little bit more time with its story, explained some stuff that's still making me scratch my head of like, Why did that happen? And the final nail in the coffin for me, that if some people came to me and said, I hated this movie, not even trying to compare it to old Chucky, it just wasn't for me, I would understand that, only because at times in this movie, they borderline it being corny. There's quite a few times in this movie where it's unintentionally funny, where the things going on camera are maybe supposed to frighten you or scare you or get you really hyped up. But in the end, the audience is kind of laughing at what's happening. Some of the characters have very corny dialogue. But really, that's about it. Three main issues is the way the doll looks, pacing, and borderline cheesy. For a horror remake, that's a damn win. I honestly feel that people just give it a chance. Don't try to go in expecting OG Chucky. Be ready for a new take. Fully prepared to laugh, because this movie is funny. Chucky himself is pretty hilarious in this. Enjoy a gory kill here and there. This is definitely a good horror movie. It kind of feels to me like a B horror movie, but that's not even a bad thing. A lot of us would say technically Chucky is a B horror character. If they make a sequel, I am super pumped and excited to see what happens in this world, because I like it. In the end, if you're still on the fence about it, just think about it. Comic book characters all the time have different alternate reality versions of them. So really go in thinking like this is just an alternate reality version of Chucky, and you still have your old Chucky in a TV show coming out next year. Why you gotta complain? Alright, so for Child's Play 2019, I'm gonna give action 2.5 stars. That is mainly for when the kills are going on, because when they do happen, the movie does extend them now. It's not just as simple as stab in the chest, next scene already. The kills in this movie, you can tell we're really giving some love to. Comedy in the movie, I'm gonna give it 3 stars. I laughed a lot, not only from Aubrey, Plaza, Gabriel, Bateman, or Brian Tyree Henry's corny character in this movie, but Chucky himself says a lot of funny lines in this movie that I wasn't expecting from a Chucky character. Drama in the movie, I'm gonna give it 3 stars, because even though I had some issues with the story here and there, it was still a nice way to bring this version of Chucky to life. Horror in the film, I'm gonna give it 2.5 stars. That's a lot due to the gory kills. You really feel the pain for Chucky's victims in this movie. And once you see the movie, this version of Chucky isn't scary, but the film as a whole really serves as a great cautionary tale of technology. And suspense in the film, I'm gonna give it 2.5 stars. It is kind of predictable in what's gonna happen. You see where it's gonna end up and what might occur, but it's such a fun ride that you don't care, you just want to see it happen. Casual fans, I'm gonna give it a B+. Cinephiles, I'm going to give it a B-. And critically, I'm going to give it a C+. For Child's Play, I recommend you watch this in theaters. It is definitely worth a watch, guys. I can see a whole community really loving this new version of Chucky and fully supporting it in the way we do old Chucky. You know me, I'm a supporter of both, so I'm very happy that this turned out being good. And I'm excited to see what happens, if anything, in the future for this Chucky. And don't forget, guys, if you really want one mask, like and subscribe. I'll pick someone out and I'll let you know. And be sure to follow me on Twitter at 3C Film Review. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.